Nutrition is life. It's your path to wellness, affecting how you think and feel while also dictating the strength of your immunity. Ignoring it's a bit naive. No pharmaceutical product and no barrier between you and disease are anywhere as close as effective for your overall health as daily nutritional support. I realize that I spend more time than most people focused on how to consume the highest amount of nutrients for myself and my family. It's challenging and expensive. However, it's really not that real food is expensive. It's more like fake food is incredibly cheap because, well, it's fake. In my 30 years of teaching about nutrient-dense diets, I have morphed my opinion over and over as some foods have faded out and others are new staples. Assuming you are watching this, it's likely that you are one of, if not the sole meal planner for the family. And if you share that responsibility, it's awesome because it's a big job to take on alone. Often people ask me, so Betsy, what is the perfect diet? Well, that, my friend, is a question I will not be answering because it's different for everyone. We live in different cultures. We have food traditions integrated into our palate. We have access to different foods. Our animal ethnic belief is different. Our incomes and what we can afford are vast. And I purposely save this for the end. Our bodies are unique and thrive on different foods. But notice I say foods. Well, sure, Betsy, that's what we're talking about, isn't it? It is, but a good chunk of what people are eating, although still classified as food from a purchasing standpoint, is what is considered as nutrient void, empty of anything beneficial, and more of a chemical detox burden rather than of any assistance to your body. Look, I'm not going to get snobby here. I get it. Dang it, don't mess with my Cheetos is what some of you are saying. But the problem is huge because for some of you, more of your calories are being entering without benefiting the body. So here's the sample answer to the question, what should I eat? Real food. That's it. How far you want to take it is up to you. I will say the more you cook from scratch, the inevitably healthier the food usually is. Whole, real ingredients are where it's at. And take this one more step into traditional foods that have been around for over 120 years or so, are a beautiful goal for many people's diets. Oils that have been dangerously manufactured, grains that are bleached and altered, sweeteners that your body can't even properly metabolize, they weaken your body. It's just logical. Mankind cannot improve on the gifts of our earth. And while we are on the subject of Mother Nature, we need to talk about water, not coffee, not soda, not tea, not drink mixes, and definitely not alcohol, water. Nothing will hydrate you like water. And all of these previously mentioned beverages will dehydrate you more. Hey, I'm not taking away your coffee. Coffee, tea, they're awesome. They're actually wholesome, real foods. So I'm not saying don't drink coffee. I'm saying it's not a replacement for water. Drinking soda, well, not so great, but what if the soda's a rare treat? Sure. What if it's a daily beverage? Well, what if it's the only form of hydration? Oh, big no. Since soda is one of the worst foods lacking in any benefit, it's a great place to begin when cleaning up your diet. If you're soda addicted, and by the way, I mean both sugary and diet, try having a glass of water for each soda you drink. And if your kids are not fans of drinking water, here are a few tips that I've used. Water filters can be extremely expensive, but a simple pitcher filter will have your water tasting a lot more pure. If you can afford a whole system filtration, fabulous, but pitcher filtration systems make a great compromise. Who doesn't love a new water bottle? I am telling you, I am a sucker for a great water bottle, and water bottles help you stay hydrated by setting hydration goals. Most people know the trick to put lemon or lime slices in their water so it tastes fresher, but oranges, berries, melon, cucumber, fresh mint, rosemary, those are all great ways to make it a bit more exciting. If it's chilly outside, hydrate with some herbal tea. It makes a great evening routine. And if you need a sweet beverage, herbal tea with a bit of raw honey or stevia is a fabulous second place to water. So now let's talk about other basics in nutrition, including the controversial topic of meat and protein. I'm an omnivore. I have loads of respect for those who are not, so I'm definitely not going to argue that point. But if you are a vegetarian or vegan and predominantly eating grains and very little protein, you will likely develop some deficiencies. But if you're a vegetarian and eating loads of eggs and beans and seeds and nuts and vegetables and healthy fats, your body might absolutely thrive on that. And same with vegans with loads and loads of vegetables. However, even being an omnivore, I'm not a fan of a meat-heavy diet. Ideally for myself, I try to shoot for meals fitting nicely into the palm of my hand and into those plates where those triple plates where the larger section is vegetables and the smaller ones, one is protein and the other one is maybe a carbohydrate. However, being an omnivore, I'm not a fan of a meat-heavy diet. Ideally for myself, I try to shoot for meals fitting nicely in those plates with 3 sections. The larger section being vegetables and the other 2, one is like for protein and the other one is for grains of any type. For kids, dividing the servings evenly is more appropriate. In general, a good way to monitor a serving of meat is to eye what fits in the person who's eating its palm of their hand. This area is a perfect meat serving amount. And please, that doesn't have to be strict. I'm just pointing out an approximation of what is considered a serving size. And in our nutrition world, let's discuss the high allergen and often digestive struggle of dairy. There are loads of cheeses and creamy dips that might be something you or your child enjoy eating. And if that makes you happy, then you should be happy. But if it gives you a stomach ache, then it's likely not digesting well and causing issues in your digestion, beyond what you might even have symptoms of. For most of us, eating more sour cream is not our goal food. Most of my clients are trying to increase vegetables in a pure form. However, if the cheese gets them to eat the vegetable, then if they digest it well, by all means, include it. But many, and I mean many, do not digest dairy well. And I'm speaking specifically to the parents here. Your child may not be able to articulate that they don't feel well after consuming dairy. So if they have an aversion to dairy products, that's one you really don't want to force. And what about fruit? I talk so much about veggies, but fruit is just as good, right? Fruit is incredible, really, but it's not a replacement for vegetables as it has fewer essential nutrients and a lot more sugar. But maybe that is one food that makes everyone happy in the household. So great. Fruit is amazing and easy to grab on the go, and it has so many wonderful benefits. And by the way, if constipation is an issue, be mindful of increasing fruits like berries and decreasing constipating fruits like bananas. The other type of food I feel a need to mention is fats. Now, I could talk about fats for hours. It's definitely a subject that can get me riled, as I'm so disappointed in the direction that commercial food has gone in utilizing cheap and non-digestible fats like soy and canola oil, and they abandoned pure cold-pressed oils, which are more expensive and, of course, affect the bottom dollar. So you could, and I have, gone down some pretty scary rabbit holes about how we process fat and what all of this heavily processed oil is doing to our systems. But we'll save those rabbit holes for the fine-tuning stage a little bit later. So here are my favorite fats: coconut oil, pure extra virgin olive oil, butter, love butter, it's like my favorite food, lard, and I actually make my own lard, but pure lard is absolutely a great fat. Duck fat, and I know that's a little bit of a bougie food and many don't even have access to it, but if you can and it's accessible to you, it's incredible for cooking your vegetables with. So many other oils such as avocado, sunflower, sesame, and grapeseed do have the potential of being really healthy. but you want to purchase the centrifuge cold pressed or expeller extracted cold pressed versions instead of processed. It will say so on the bottle if it is. Otherwise, assume it's not. And lastly, although this is an endless topic to discuss, I would be remiss without mentioning one of my favorite foods on the planet, lacto-fermented cultured vegetables. You don't know what those are? Well, in simple terms, it's simply kimchi or sauerkraut made through a process that allows them to ferment and create healthy bacteria. But in order to speed up the process, most of the sauerkraut known today, even in Bavaria, where sauerkraut began, is made with vinegar. So it's a huge difference in the end result. One, I'll give you a hint, it's the one with vinegar that is cheaply and quickly made, can feed bad gut bugs like candida and other pathogens. Whereas the other, the opposite, fermented foods made correctly and without excess sugar, like some kombuchas, are loaded with gut healing probiotics that provide B vitamins, have natural digestive enzymes. So whatever you eat it with will digest better. They're also loaded with probiotics that are not transient as oral probiotics are. For more information, I highly suggest the website Cultures for Health. So as I wrap up in one 10-minute video, a subject that I have studied for a lifetime, I can't help but feel a draw to tell you more. But I also know the tendency to get overwhelmed in a topic that can often scare you more than empower you. So if you're new to understanding nutrition, take it in small bites and never stop learning.